Hey guys, SMF1 here with another prediction video. Today I'll be going over my picks for the 2021 Drivers' Championship. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. In number 20 in the constructor standings, I have Nikita Mazepin. A large portion of this is depending on the Haas car because I believe Haas will get very few points throughout the season. And he is a rookie, so we can't expect too much for him. I can maybe see him getting maybe 1 or 2 points throughout the season, but there is not much hope for much more, and that is why I have him in 20th. In 19th place, I have Mick Schumacher. Much like Nikita Mazepin, maybe 1 or 2 points throughout the season. However, I don't think Haas is getting many points, like I said earlier, which means I believe the two Haas drivers are going to finish 19th and 20th. And that is why I have Schumacher in 19th. In 18th place, I have Kimi Räikkönen. I don't think the Alfa Romeo car will be very strong. I think Kimi will have a couple point finishes and strong performances, but overall, it will have to be in those crazy races where a lot of cars retire and there is a big opportunity for Räikkönen, and that is why I have him in 18th. In 17th position in the driver's standings, I have Latifi. I believe he will have a bit of a breakout season this year and finally set into that Williams, and I believe Williams will make a lot of development forward and be more competitive, so I can see a couple point finishes for Latifi, and overall a pretty good season for him in his second season, and I really think Latifi will just develop as a driver and score a couple points. In 16th, I have Giovinazzi. Again, I don't think the Alfa Romeo car will be too competitive, but as we've seen last year, Giovinazzi is really starting to develop and become a better and better driver. I believe he will have a very strong season, getting those point finishes and even finishing ahead Latifi, who will have the stronger Williams car, I believe. And that is why I have Giovinazzi in 16th. In 15th position, I have George Russell. We've seen what he can do at Mercedes. He's exceptionally talented, and I see him finishing first out of those 6 drivers who drive for the bottom 3 teams. I believe he'll have some point finishes, and I think he can surprise us, especially since I think the Williams car will be improving, and that is why I have him in 15th. If you're enjoying the video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also thank you to all my channel members. You can join them by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button, and don't forget to join my Discord server. All the links will be in the description, and let's get back to the video. In 14th, I have the third and final rookie driver in Yuki Tsunoda. I believe AlphaTauri will be kind of stuck in 7th, not really being able to bring the fight too much to the other midfield teams. Therefore, I have Yuki Tsunoda finishing behind Pierre Gasly, who is more and more establishing himself, and that is why I have Tsunoda in 14th. In 13th place, I have the newly race winner, Pierre Gasly. I believe he will have another very strong season for AlphaTauri. We've seen what he can do with that race win. And again, I don't think AlphaTauri will be too close to the rest of the midfield, and that is why I have Gasly in 13th. In 12th place, I have the veteran returning to the grid in Fernando Alonso. I believe it will take him a bit to settle back into the F1 and the F1 cars. I also believe Alpine won't be that far up to the midfield. I believe they'll be pretty close to Ferrari, but Ferrari, of course, has the better drivers. And I believe Alonso will finish the season very good. Just the beginning of the season, it might take a bit of time to kind of settle back into the F1, but I could very well be wrong. But that is why I have Alonso in 12th. In 11th place, I have the other Alpine driver in Esteban Ocon. I believe Ocon will have a very strong season and sort of break out a bit, but like I said earlier, for Alonso, I don't think the car will be quite there to be in the top of the midfield. And I see Ocon being very consistent and having a pretty good season overall, and that is why I have him in 11th. In 10th place, I have Carlos Sainz. I believe the Ferrari will be around or a bit better than Alpine, but not quite catch up to Aston Martin and McLaren. And that is why Carlos Sainz is in 10th, because I believe he'll have a very strong season who will outperform the car. Both him and Charles will outperform that Ferrari. However, I can't see him being much higher than 10th unless Aston Martin and McLaren actually do get caught up by Ferrari. Then I could see him higher. It all depends on the Ferrari engine and the car, and that's why I have Carlos in 10th. In 9th place, I have Sebastian Vettel. This is the prediction where I'm not too sure about. I believe it is more likely for him to finish around 9th. However, he could very well finish near the top, maybe where I have Stroll. It's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top on the head-to-head, but I believe Seb will just get edged out by Stroll, who will finish a bit higher. And again, Aston Martin car, I think it'll take a tiny bit for Seb to settle in, and maybe some unlucky races, but I can't see him finishing as high unless the Aston Martin car is really good or he does surprise. And I just want to see what type of form he returns on, Ferrari form or what he was before then. And that is why I have Seb in 9th. In 8th place, I have Charles Leclerc. Again, I don't believe the Ferrari car will do too well. I think it'll be in the middle of that midfield. I believe Charles will massively outperform his car. He is an exceptional talent like we've seen. However, I can't really see him bringing it much past that, especially if McLaren and Aston Martin are ahead of Ferrari. Again, this massively depends on how well Ferrari develops and catches up to the rest of the field. However, if my prediction is right for the Ferrari car, I can't see Leclerc being much higher than 8th, so that is why I have him there. In 7th place, I have Lando Norris. Again, having another very strong and consistent season for McLaren, who I think will be in a very tight battle with Aston Martin for 3rd in the Constructors once again, like we saw in the 2020 season. Again, Norris is a very good driver, and I'm excited to see what he does. And I believe he will be finishing in 7th, and that is why I have him there. In 6th place, I have one of my more surprising predictions, and that is Lance Stroll finishing 6th place. Like we saw in the beginning of last season, Stroll was very consistent, Spain, Hungary, and was even 4th for like the first third of the season until he had that Mugello crash where he was on track for another podium. And after that, he had a couple unlucky DNFs that weren't really his fault. But overall, I think Stroll will kind of have a breakout season. And if he can become consistent, I really can see him in 6th place. Again, he is very talented. He just needs to be more consistent with it. And that is why I have Stroll in 6th place. In 5th place and topping that midfield, I obviously have to have Daniel Ricciardo there. He is an exceptionally talented driver. And I just can't wait to see what he does at McLaren. And I believe he will have the strongest season in that midfield and be able to finish on top. And that is why I have Daniel Ricciardo in 5th place. In 4th place in the constructor standings, I have Sergio Perez. I believe he'll be able to put that Red Bull car in the right places at the right times and really help support Verstappen and even bring the fight to Verstappen a bit. However, over a whole season, I can't see him finishing ahead of Verstappen or any of the Mercedes. I believe he will have a very strong season and show why he deserves the Red Bull seat. But overall, I can't see him much higher than 4th, and that is why I have him there. In 3rd place, I have Max Verstappen, but this could easily be one of the 2 Mercedes. I believe Red Bull will catch up to the Mercedes, and the fights will be a lot closer between the 2 constructors. And Verstappen finishing 3rd does rely on the fights by the 2 Mercedes and whether they crash out, because Verstappen is very consistent. And he could easily finish 2nd, although I don't really see him being able to finish 1st. However, that does depend on what type of car Red Bull gives him. But overall, I think it is most likely for Verstappen to finish in 3rd place. In 2nd place and runner-up in the Drivers' Championship, I have Valtteri Bottas. I really do believe he will bring a better fight to Hamilton over the course of the season. Like we've seen, he has the pace to really challenge Hamilton, but always over the course of a season, he falls behind. I don't see him winning it, however, but I can see him challenging a lot more and making the season a little more interesting. But in the end, I see him finishing in 2nd place. And my prediction for the champion of the world of the F1 2021 season, to no surprise, is Lewis Hamilton and finally breaking Michael Schumacher's record. I believe Hamilton will just stay on his current form and just have another very strong season. His fight with Valtteri Bottas will be closer, I believe. However, Hamilton, who is exceptionally talented, will edge him out. And I really see Hamilton just having another great record-breaking season. And overall, he's just a very, very talented driver. And I see him winning another season of F1. And that is why I have Hamilton in first place. So there you have it. Those are my predictions for the 2021 Drivers' Championship standings. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're new around here or haven't already, please consider subscribing. Comment down below your predictions and if you agree or disagree with my predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you in the next one.